How do you build your multifamily team as an investor? Guys, I'm going to break down the full process, how I think about my team, and how I want you to begin to start building your own teams when you're an investor in multifamily real estate. If you're new to the channel, my name is Dan Leto. I'm a real estate investor with over 50 multifamily units with my wife, and we are continuing to grow the portfolio. And this channel is here for you guys to learn about the mistakes we've made, the accomplishments we have, and how you can implement some of the similar processes that we have into your business. So let's kind of dive into building your team. So to me, as the investor, there's three different umbrellas associated with building your team. There's lending, which is the commercial loans you're getting, the hard money loans you're getting, those relationships you build with those banks, those credit unions. That's the first process. The second is brokers. So everything from lending, from insurance, to contractors. Like, there's brokers are the lifeblood of the industry. You can't forget about deals, obviously, when you're acquiring properties. Brokers are everything. They kind of negotiate on your behalf, and they're looking at different insurance companies, different lenders, and they're able to get you the best deal for your specific property. And I love working with brokers. You have to work with them because they're the ones that are doing this every day, and they make the commission based on the loan amounts, based on the insurance policies they get you. So they're super motivated individuals trying to get you the best deal. And the third, which to me gets a golden star too a little bit, is property management. So important, right? As the investor, you are the asset manager. You are managing the property management company. So for you, you have to think about not only the property manager, their contractors, the bookkeeping that they do there, right? Like, how are they bringing, like all the operations associated with managing your deal, managing your property. Property management is such a crucial part to it because it's not just going to be one person managing these deals, right? It could be 10 individuals. It could be 50 contractors. So you have to look all the time at, are they getting me the best contractors? What's the fee? And are they also managing my deal efficiently? Are they getting the work orders done for tenants quickly? All those things matter in multifamily real estate. And you have to have all three of these in order to be successful as you build your business. And I'm going to go through each umbrella under the investor, that is you, and kind of show you how I think about this every day. So I'm happy I'm doing it with you so you can start to understand building your team is such a crucial part of your success. So let's start with lending. So lending is big, right? Like, when you're getting a property, you are usually putting 20 to 25% down on whatever the purchase price is, but the actual deal is all going to be dependent on the lenders that you choose. So there's different types of lenders, right? We have local banks. So think of these as just local banks in that area. You have credit unions. So again, another potential national or local lending option that is available for you. And then hard money, or bridge lenders. So for example, if you have deals that don't meet these requirements, which is usually at least already 80% occupied, you might have to go through a hard money lender, which is basically a short-term lender that will help you get to this stage. And they will give you kind of a short-term 1 to 2 years to be like, hey, Dan, hey, investor, go figure out the deal, go get it leased up, rehabbed into a good stabilized position, and then we can transfer you to a bank or credit union. And you work with brokers that are associated, right, with these hard money loans that also do banks and credit unions. And the way that I do it, just for my personal preferences, I like to work with brokers that have hard money businesses. And the reason why I like that is it's a lot faster when you go to refinance. So my hard money lender is my broker also helping me get banks and credit unions associated, right? So the process is pretty simple. They will give me the hard money loan, and then when I'm ready and 80% plus stabilized in the property, they will then go and reach out to their local banks, credit unions to see who's interested in taking the loan. And guys, I will tell you, usually your broker will give you 1 to 3 options. So he'll go out, he'll source out different options for you, whether it's already a stabilized property or one that needs that bridge loan in order to get stabilized. And he'll say, hey, option 1 is a local bank. They're offering you 25-year loan with this rate. And, they want the balloon payment, which if you guys aren't familiar with, it's basically when it's due. They'll give you the longer amortization, so the cash flow for you is safe, but they're going to want the payment maybe in 20 years, right? So they're going to give you different options, whether it be a local bank, a credit union, or maybe even a national lender, right? So they're going to give you optionality in terms of they're going to literally shop what's the best deal for you. And that could be a mix of Some banks might have lower proceeds. Some credit unions might have higher proceeds. Some national lenders might come in and really want the loan. So they're bidding to get you the best possible deal. And I love dealing with brokers because they know so many connections in the market, and they're going to be the ones that are really going to be able to help your business the most. And they're going to get you the best deal that maximizes your cash flow, and additionally gets you, potential more money in your pocket through different local banks that they know. And it's all dependent on a few things, right? Like they'll look at location, they'll look at the actual strength of the deal. What's the cash flow going to be after you refinance? And hey broker one, hey broker two, I'm looking for the best potential deal. So lending is crucial. The second piece, as we talked about a little bit with lending, is additional brokers. So what is that? That could be insurance brokers. I highly recommend you get insurance brokers because you could give them the deal and they're going to be able to give you 5 different options of different insurance options, whether it be, it's going to include general liability or it's not going to include general liability. Maybe it's going to be, a specific insurance lender that really likes the area that you're in. So in talking to different insurance brokers is huge because they are insanely knowledgeable of your specific deal, of how to get the best price. And usually from what I hear from insurance brokers, think about your property of $60 to $75 a unit, obviously times 12, right, to get your full annualized premium of what it's going to cost you for your building. And some brokers are able to get you insurance that's $60 a unit, which is awesome, right, on the lower side. So you always want to talk to them about your property because they're not out just to make money. They also care a lot about you. They care about making sure your property is protected. They're going to give you additional options of, hey, I think you should do this for this specific reason. They are strategic partners that are going to help you be successful. And the lower your insurance, right, like, if you're able to get, let's say, $2K saved on insurance, think about what that does to the NOI long term. That could boost up your NOI and your property value another $30,000 to $40,000, depending on the market. So it's a huge opportunity for you to get the best potential price. The other brokers that I love are my agents. So I work with a few very specific brokers who are always looking at deals for me. They are going to represent me in the deals. They're going to outsource deals for me. So they're going to look at deals off market. They're going to talk to other, off market contacts they have. And they're going to find me, 20 unit complexes. Maybe it's a smaller complex, but it's a really good deal. Maybe it's a 40 unit complex. So they're going to be looking all the time for me to be able to get the best potential deal. And brokers are crucial because that's how you find your deals. You're not going to find these larger complexes a lot of good deals on the market. You could. And there's obviously, I've done it, right? Like I've explained in previous videos where I've had deals that are on the market for 6 months that turn out to be home runs for me. But a lot of time in these larger complexes, it's going to be off market. And having those brokers source deals for you and building those relationships is huge. So they'll be like, hey, Dan, I have this 40 unit complex. The seller's looking to sell within the next 6 to 12 months. I think it could be a great opportunity for you and we can discuss further. So having those brokers that are ready and working for you when you give them the green light is crucial to getting obviously a huge discount potentially on the deal and having no competition. So, when you're off market, you're not competing with anyone. You're just working with the seller to get to a common ground if the deal makes sense for you. So I highly suggest that you start to get different brokers, get in those networks, whether it's looking up the top 5 brokerage companies within your market. That's what I did. I found some great ones. I have a specific broker that's done a few of my deals that I love working with her. She's fantastic. Also insurance companies. You could search, best insurance brokers in, New York, Massachusetts, whatever it is. You can find the best ones that are going to get you good deals and they have reviews. And I highly suggest you kind of get with those networks. Also, the last thing I'll say with brokers is your specific agent or the broker you're working with that's finding you deals, they're going to have great lending partners. They're going to have great insurance companies that they work with. So they are also a tremendous resource to help you find those people as well. The last thing I'll say of your team is your property management. And I put a star next to it in the beginning because it is the most important aspect in my opinion. Yes, these are lifeblood of the industry. You need the loans. But if you don't have good property management, you're not going to succeed in multifamily. And having the right property manager and the right team is super important. So my property management team, they're kind of a smaller boutique company. They don't have 5,000 units, but they are very like very good company that works in a specific market that I'm in, and they know kind of the rents very well. They know they have a very subset good group of local contractors that do, you know, HVAC, plumbing, electrical, and I'm getting like huge discounts versus if I went to a third property contractor and it might charge me 40% more. So property management is not only managing your property, they're gonna give you the best deals when work needs to be done. Or if you wanna do, for example, you know, private sub-metering, right? I recently got a quote for like 4 to 5K for 12 units. That's awesome pricing for sub-metering for water. Versus if I went to another company, it could be double. So they have the best contractors that they send to all their properties, and you know, they move quickly. Property management also is not just the individual, right? I think of it as a big team there. They're gonna have their contractors, they're gonna have their bookkeeping, right? So they have people that manage the finances on the back end. You wanna establish relationships with these people because they're the ones that are gonna tell you, hey, you know, like what's going on with the collections, and you wanna always manage the property manager. You can't be hands-off in multifamily real estate, guys. You have to manage your property manager as the investor and as the asset manager. This is your asset, but they're going to manage the day-to-day. You're still going to be involved in the day-to-day, but you're not going to be sending out leases. You're not going to be, you know, talking to tenants, but you're going to be working your property management company all the time. The last thing I want to say is all the operations associated, right? I'm lucky that they have a portal where I can see kind of everything that's happening, the receipts, you know, see what's going on with the utilities. I manage my own profit and loss statement every month on top of this. So I am always checking every month to see, you know, are the expenses really high? Like what's going on with my utilities? Is it, you know, really jumping up every month? And you also want a property management company that is not only operationally efficient in terms of are they getting the work orders in for tenants when there's issues quickly, are they have a sense of urgency, right? When things happen, you know, does it take us 2 weeks or does it take us 2 days? And the other thing is that I love my property management company for is recommendations. Didn't spell that great there, but it is so true. They are always giving me recommendations for new ways to improve my property. You know, they mentioned that a washer and dryer broke in my 5 unit, and they said, hey, great opportunity for you to coin laundry there. Like, I think you can make X amount of money, and I did start making that money, which was great. They also bring me deals too, right? Like they have investors that have lost their properties, unfortunately, where they couldn't, you know, pay the mortgage or the taxes, whatever it might be, or they got really distressed owners that, you know, they just can't keep up with the property. So it's also another off-market opportunity there where they will bring me deals. My property manager, the owner, always he says, hey Dan, I have a few opportunities for you. Let's say it's a 4 unit, right? It's fully vacant and, you know, I believe you can get it for X price. This is what they're looking for. So I would still work with a broker, but the property manager is the one that's helping me guys in the day-to-day, helping me find those deals, improve my property, managing the tenants. And if you have strong property management, like they're gonna help you get your improvements done. The property's gonna run efficiently. The vacancy, right? Like I have 1 unit that's vacant right now, and they went in there, they turned it over within a day, and they got on the market within 3 days. Like that's strong property management, and that's what I want to push you guys for. Don't be hands off with property management. Be the asset manager. You know, I talk to my property management team once a day or once every 2 days. You know, I am always talking to them. They're talking to me about what's going on, about, you know, things that are happening. And, you know, you have to be the asset manager. The asset manager is you. And if you aren't going to be involved in the day-to-day, you really shouldn't be a multifamily. You can't just hand it off to someone and, you know, hope it's going to work, right? And for me, I am always hands-on. I'm always asking questions. And it's your property at the end of the day that's always going to be at risk. So you need to be the one that's always involved, right? Like I have my own spreadsheets of my data, rent roll, profit and loss statement. I have operations I do on my end. Why do I do that? If I'm paying someone, you know, money to do it. Because it's still your property. You have to be able to follow up with them and manage your property manager, right? You can't just be hands-off, guys. So let me know what you think. You know, these are the 3 levers that I look at every single day. People I'm talking to, new brokers, new lenders, right? New banks that say, yeah, I'm looking at the, you know, maybe do business with. Property management, these guys are awesome, right? They do a great job for me. And you know, Maybe you want to self-manage, right? I love my property manager because they just do a great job. And I know that, they're on top of things. It's a pretty low fee. And I feel like, I'm getting a great deal with them, right? And they're terrific people when I can't be at the property all the time. And I love them. They're just great. But maybe you want to manage it yourself. There's no problem with that, right? If it's small, 5-6 unit, you want to do it yourself, you absolutely can. It's totally up to you. But these are the 3 levers of being an investor. You have your lending, you have your brokers that are associated with everything that we talked about, and most importantly, you have your property management. How are you managing your property management team? And so guys, let me know, does this make sense to you? Does, the process that I'm doing, do you have questions on it? You want to comment and be like, hey, Dan, can you, talk to me more about property management? Like what's your day-to-day interactions with them? Or, what other ways have you found brokers, right? Or, what loans specifically have you gotten from your cash out refinances? What are the options that they've brought you? Guys, I'm here to answer your questions. My point of my channel is to continue to educate and show you real life what's happening. Not be a guru, not say you're gonna make $1 million on your first deal, but I'm here to really give you the reality of managing property management. Guys, if you have any other questions, please let me know. Like, subscribe. Let's keep this going. I got a few exciting new videos that are going to be coming up with real life examples, with new improvements I'm making and what that value increase is going to be, and new educational videos as well. So we mix those in and keep ourselves grounded on the principles of running a multifamily business. Guys, if you have any other questions, always let me know and we'll talk soon. Thank you.